to another episode of In My Backyard. So you must have an Uncle Bob, right? Okay, well I have an Uncle Bob too, and that's who I'm going to introduce you to today, is my Uncle Bob, Bob Forcier. And he's been working on these displays for how many years, Uncle Bob?
Oh, 20 some odd years.
20 some odd years.
Getting bigger and bigger.
Yep, and it changes every year. So this year, let me see, well, last year you had your entire yard filled with all kinds of displays.
Yeah.
This year you're bringing it down to the haunted house, pretty much,
Yeah.
and tying everything together. So we've got all kinds of stuff. And in order for you to come in and get your candy on Halloween, you have to go through the haunted palace. Is that right?
If you say so, on that part.
So, Uncle Bob, I know, like, you didn't go out and buy all of this stuff. A lot of this stuff, you kind of used your imagination.
Yeah, knowledge.
Yep. And decided that you're going to do certain things. So I see, like, your pearly gates sign, and some of your things that are supposed to look like slate or headstones.
Yep.
What did you use for that kind of stuff?
They are styrofoams that people threw away, and
Wow.
I cut it out,
Yep.
roughed it
Painted
up
it
a little
over.
bit, painted it over,
Yep.
and put the what do you call it, on the headstones.
Right, right. And I see Jason is buried over there, the Friday the 13th
Yeah,
Jason.
he's been over there for quite a few years.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And I also remember a couple of years ago, I won't tell anybody, but you jumped out at people.
Yeah, back in my younger days.
But now he doesn't do that, so you don't have to worry. If you come up, you don't have to worry about this. So it's very safe. There's a few dead people in there, but don't worry about it. There's only blood and gore and all kinds of stuff. So tell me a little bit more. Like, this skull, this is a human skull.
That's what my wife tells me.
Is
Yeah.
she still around? Is this,
Well,
is this her?
that could be her, but it isn't.
So, I'm glad, because I really like my Aunt Bonnie. Okay, so we have a skull here. Let me see, what else do you have? You got a couple of things that you bought, and we will be entering the haunted palace here pretty soon. But you've got a couple of pumpkins, ghosts here, a couple more skulls. This guy's got his head going around in circles here. How do you get this stuff?
Here and there,
Yeah.
when places got things on sale at 75% off,
Yep.
that's when you start, buying the stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And is everything just for Halloween, or like where do you, like this guy here?
Well, this guy here, he was created last year.
Uh-huh.
I was all ready to throw that this reindeer for Christmas, and the lights didn't work on it, so I was going to bring the city landfill, and I just happened to put a mask on it, and the motor still works, so I put a sheet on it, and that created another
piece.
Another creature.
Yeah. Now you've got him chained down, so he's not going anywhere. Right?
He's not going anyplace.
No.
I don't know where the person
he looks
went.
pretty scary.
I don't know where the person went, but his hand's still there.
And tell me about these guys over here.
Well, that guy with a suit on, 5 years ago, he was Obama.
Oh.
I had a display with him.
Is that what Obama's going to look like once he's done with his presidency?
No, I would tell you what he's going to look like, but I better not say it on TV.
So now this year he looks like a little bit of a hippie guy.
Yeah, he's a hippie,
Yeah.
getting older.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He looks like he's getting a little skinnier there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this other guy, his buddy beside him, is that his brother?
Well, if he's ever what you want him to be.
I see, yeah. And now he doesn't move, right?
No, he doesn't.
Because every time I go by these things, I keep thinking things are going to move.
Well, sometimes at Halloween
Yeah.
night, you'd be surprised what happens.
Yeah. So we've talked about this reindeer
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
werewolf, and we've talked about a couple of other things. Now you also have this man that's head is going to just about ready to pop off, I think, because it's going around in circles and circles and circles.
Yeah. Well, on him, I always wanted to have a head turn around, and I happen to have an old ice cream maker down in my basement, which that almost went to dump too. But then I realized I could set that up for the head, turn the motor upside down, and you can have the head spin around on it. But then I found out that how to do it, how to keep the motor. So a lot of my dummies now are PVC pipe and chicken wire. So I went to Home Depot, bought all the elbows and that stuff for the arms, and this one here's got a hangover shape, so I can put the motor there.
Yeah.
And that's how he was created about a couple years ago.
Wow. Yeah. And so we're doing this in the daylight, so it really doesn't have quite the effect that it would if we were going through at night.
Right.
But we're going to give you a sneak preview, just in case you're interested, and we're not going to tell you all the secrets. So when you come up here, you're going to have to know that some things may jump out at you, some things may shake and shimmy, and just be ready. And enter if you dare. Okay, so before we go in, Uncle Bob, there's a bat over you.
Yeah, I know.
That's a big one, too. Before we go in, let's talk a little bit about the lighting and the music that we're hearing in the background. Is that something that you have done yourself?
Well, when I first started, I used to have the lights with a switch, switch off and on.
Yeah.
But after a while, you get tired of that.
Right.
So they happen to have machines now that have the music, and you can plug in, and certain things with all the lights I have here go with the music. So they go off and on by themselves with the music, which is a lot easier for me.
Yeah, yeah. And so where did you get that?
Can I name different places?
Don't matter to me.
Well, I got one at Target's and the other one when we had Sears in Keene.
Yeah, yeah. So you can get them at regular stores.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so you paid full price for that, I'm sure.
Not really, no. One of them I got 90% off, and the other one I got 75% off.
Yeah, yeah. So you know, you don't have to spend a lot of money to have a lot of fun here.
You save a lot of money when you wait.
Right, right. So, okay, let's go inside.
Bye.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about what you have here. You got a snake, and this guy is drooling profusely.
Right. This is one of the things I always wanted to do when you go to Cheshire Fair. At the haunted house, they always have this guy in front with water, or more like blood, coming out of his mouth, and I always wanted to do it. So I had a pump I had for my small pond I have, and I go back and forth with him for that. So you got two different things up, and it works pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. And you got a snake coming out of there. It really is very ingenious. I don't know if I want to go any further.
Well,
I guess there's no turning back.
Once you get in here, this is only one way out.
Okay, so do you like werewolf liver?
Not really.
No, is it
really.
got a kind of a strong flavor?
Well, strong, but it's tough.
Yeah, yeah. So the next part that we come to here looks like a coffin, and it looks like the person is still alive.
Yeah, that's another thing. I worked for quite a couple of years trying to get him or her come up and down like that.
What did you use to do that?
And I just happened to have another reindeer that the lights wasn't working for Christmas that moved up and down, so the motor still worked, so I kind of rigged it up in that.
That is so cool. Very cool. I hope I don't say that too many times, because this is really interesting. And again, you've got the music and the lighting, and it will be totally different when it's dark in here, I'm sure.
The coffin's all handmade.
Yep.
I cut the tree down, planed the bullet. No, just kidding.
You probably used whatever you had for wood around, huh? Yep. There's Freddie.
That mask was no good, so I just stuffed it in there.
It looks scary. Looks like a cat almost. You got pumpkins and oh, look at the book. That's cool.
That's another thing I always wanted to do, and I didn't know how to do it.
Right.
But I just happened to have another reindeer that wasn't working.
Boy, worry, Santa's going to be in trouble here.
Well, I got plenty reindeers for him.
So you had the book and the spider, and then this woman, she is beautiful. Oh, no, she's not so beautiful. Look at that. She's Medusa. I feel like I'm in the Addams Family. Seriously, they're in their house. And you got a rat. Do you have a lot of rats in this area?
Yeah, they're getting bigger and bigger too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they eat fingers?
Yeah, they nibble on them.
Yeah. So who's the surgeon here?
Well, that's whoever you want him to be, I guess. Well, at nighttime he kind of scares you too.
I bet.
Because he stares right at you.
Yep. Yep.
This is one of my new things this year.
Wow. I think he needs to be a little bit more sanitary. And then we come to the back here. Oh, and it's dinner time.
This is your body pat table.
Uh-huh.
This is new this year too.
Yeah. So you do try to make it something different every year, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got witch's potion, and you got bat wings, and spider sting cider. Yummy.
You gotta watch out for that other guy that's standing beside you there.
This guy here, because his head moves.
Yeah, once in a while he moves.
Yeah. So how did you do some of the lighting with the lamp, how it
Well, that's
flickers?
that's hooked up to the music,
Uh-huh.
and that's one of the things I like to have blink off and on, so stay on. Like,
Yep.
more you got stuff that's moving or something. That's
More interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and this guy lost his head. He's eating crow now.
okay.
Oh, gosh. That's awful. Oh, gosh.
And you're on your way out.
And if I didn't get my candy.
Well, you have to wait for Halloween night. That's another thing. I got the fog machine at nighttime.
Oh, yeah. That must make it really cool. Wow. That is scary. Oh, and I have my pet.
Well, we made it through.
Would you like dinner?
No, not really. No, no, no. It is one of my pets.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll put him back a little bit later. So that was really interesting. I really like your imaginative look at things, because there's so many things that you can use that aren't the typical use.
Well, the one thing you got to do, when you go to bed at night, you got to think all these different things.
Right, right.
And I think a lot.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know, for years you've made all kinds of things out of wood, and you've always got something interesting, coming up. So I can see how you would, do some of these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how would somebody get started doing this kind of a thing? I mean, you didn't start with all of this stuff all at once.
Well, no, when I first started, it was just like anybody else did. Put a front light on.
Yeah.
Then it went from there to one dummy and two dummies, and next you know, I buying all this other stuff,
Right.
and next you know, you get this.
Yeah. 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 I would consider it like planting a garden. You decide where you want this and where you want that. But there's a lot to go into something like this. I know. There's probably other ones around. I know that during Pumpkin Fest, the United Church of Christ does a haunted church downstairs in their building too. And I'm sure that there's other places around Keene, but it's not like, we used to have some really great haunted houses that we could go to, but now people can come to this one.
No, they glad I do it. One year I didn't do it because I started working nights.
Yeah.
And everybody wanted to know what happened.
Right.
So
right.
I told them, if I can't enjoy it, nobody is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But the one time 5 years ago, I had a display in my front lawn when Obama and McCain was running for president. I made full-size figures like this here, and I got their mask at Walmart, which looked just like them. And later on election, Joe the plumber got in it, so I had to make him up, and that did hit the front page.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
but Halloween night, I took McCain's mask off, and I put my suit on, and I stood out in the same spot, and everybody thought I was a dummy.
Right.
And I realized I didn't like that too well.
Right.
But one
But you
woman.
moved, I bet.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
one woman came and took a hold of my arm. Her husband took a picture, and I said, she thinks I'm a dummy. So I just moved my head like this to her, and she almost dropped to her knees.
I bet. Yeah, that would have been
But
funny.
there's a lot of things that make you put your smile on
Right.
people's faces.
Right. Well, I think that's what Halloween is all about, is, enjoying, you're trying to scare off the evil spirits, but
But I have
a lot of fun.
I have got 4 kids in the neighborhood that won't come to this house now for
That's what I
a whole
hear.
month. But then when Christmas comes, they come because I
Right.
decorate for Christmas.
Right. So will you take some of your reindeer and put those back out on the lawn?
No, these reindeers
These are
retired because
retired?
the lights don't work on
Yeah,
them. But I
yeah.
have got another
Yeah.
7, 8 reindeers that take the place of
Right.
them.
Yep. So you also decorate during the winter,
Yeah,
like
when
Christmas time.
yeah.
And will you go out throughout the whole yard pretty much? Because that's what I've seen you do before.
It goes from one side of the yard to all the way down the other
Yeah.
side and on top of the roof.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of time to do that.
Yeah.
With roughly about 35, 40 extension cords. So it's
Are you retired? Yes, you are.
yes,
I
I
know you are.
am.
Yeah. So you have a little bit of time to do this, and that's a great thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're giving something back to the community actually by doing this. I know you probably do it because you like it, but you're actually giving them something too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So, today we've been with Bob Forcier in my backyard. Do you have anything else that you want to say?
No, but I just want to make sure people just don't throw things away. If they do, just drop them off.
Oh, be careful. Be careful what you ask for. No, but things that can move, engines and like not engines, but things that are electric that can move and
Yeah, well,
stuff like that.
some people got some reindeers that doesn't
Right.
work, but nothing
You won't
works.
believe how many reindeers you're going to see in your front yard tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope the motors work.
Anyway, today we've been in my backyard with Bob Forcier, and if you're interested in more information about In My Backyard, you can email us at inmybackyardch8@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you. So I hope you've enjoyed this program. Please check it out for yourself, because it's nowhere near as good now as it will be at night. So please come up and stop by. The address is,
37 Hilltop Drive.
and that's in Keene, New Hampshire. It doesn't have a website or anything, so you just got to stop by. And when do you have it set up? Just on Halloween?
Well, I have people coming through every so often until Halloween.
Yeah.
Then Halloween night, I got a fog machine, so I get
And you
smoke.
take a loan for candy?
Loan? Well,
And this is no charge, right? You don't charge for people to go
no
through
charge,
it.
but
Yeah.
people in the neighborhood getting kind of mad at me because
You
they
create
get-
so much traffic.
well, they got to buy more candy for the kids.
Oh. Well, you know what? That's what it's all about, though. I mean, Halloween, it's so much fun to have candy.
Yeah, there's another thing too about the candies. There's a lot of kids that, even grown-ups, teenagers, they won't come up. And what I do, I have candy bars in my pocket, and I pass it to them if they don't come up.
Right. Is it a little too scary?
Too scary, but
Yeah.
one kid did it, and I forgot I had a mask on that
Oh,
time.
yeah.
And geez, I almost chased the kid down the road trying to give him a candy bar. I forgot I had a mask on.
Oh, no. You won't do that again. All right. Well, thank you, Uncle Bob.
Okay.
All right. And we'll see you again in my backyard.